Well, it rained a lot today, so I get to have a day in the shed. Oh, what a bummer. Anyway, what I've done is I've gone and bought myself a TIG welder. There's just, this is not looking good. It's not looking good at all, and I just know with a MIG, it distorts the metal so much. I actually have to, and the panels I've got, let's just, they're not much better than what I'm dealing with there. And some of them are actually rusted through. That's what I'm kind of dealing with. So I'm actually going to have to extend panels. I'm trying to keep the bits that are important, like the body lines, and this kind of extending it both ways. And anyway, I bought a TIG. So I've done a couple of little, test welds. This one was test one, no good. But then that was with no filler rod, and I'm just going to kind of just go full bore into it. I think I can actually do this. That was just getting the torch set up, and of course, with that much practice, I'm now an expert. So I'm just going to go, into straight up full blown body panel repairs with it. So basically, what I've done is there's the trike. All the paint's done on it now. It's ready to pick up, so that'll be coming together soon. This is the panel that I cut out of it. You can see it laid over there. And it's actually not, it's not too bad. I think I can use it to make it work. I need that anyway. So what I've done is I've just laid it over the old roof skin. I'm going to cut an extension piece. I'm actually going to cut it, weld it all up, and then kind of make a bigger panel that I can then lay over. It's going to be a jigsaw puzzle. It's going to take ages, but it's what I've got. So let's see if I can do it. Well, that's a couple of hours of me trying to figure it out, and much better with a MIG welder so far. Anyway, I'm going to persevere. I'm going to cut this again, and I'm just going to keep practicing until I get it right. Right, well, I went back to the drawing board, and I've just got a couple of bits of metal that I use for panel repairs, which is a nice kind of cleanish metal. And look, that's going a lot better. Still a lot of warpage, which I wasn't expecting as much of with this TIG. Maybe I'm putting too much heat into it. I'm going to cut a couple more bits and go again and just see if that, if that makes any difference. It's just a matter of, I think, just learning how to hold the torch, and like that was barely any wire fed into that. So maybe I'm going too hot and I just need to slow. I'll just keep playing with it anyway. Well, I've got to say, this is actually going a lot better now. Like, I'm not sure. I guess I'm just getting used to it. How does the torch work? Now that's the spots kind of done. I've just got a little bit of, this panel doesn't quite fit here, and I'll just try and fix that a little bit. But other than that, it's actually coming together okay. I'm going to hammer this, dolly this a little bit, try and get it back to shape, and I'll keep welding on it. Well, look, it's far from perfect, but it's a good attempt for an arvo of trying to learn. There is still a lot of warpage, and to me, I feel like it feels like we're carrying a bit too much heat, and I'm not sure. Maybe I need to turn it down a bit, move a bit fast. Maybe anyway, I'm going to give this a bit of a grind up, hammer it out a bit, see if it's going to work, and we'll just take it from there. Look, I'm not saying it's good, but it's a heck of a lot better than what it was. Like, there is a lot of this is going to get cut off. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually get it up there, kind of hold it in place, which is kind of, what I'm trying to do again is just follow that line and see where that takes me, clamp it on in a few places, and then kind of template it. Now, what I'm trying to do is get that, in under there, and that to roll in nicely. So it's going to be a bit tricky, but I'm on the right path. I feel like I'm on the right path. I might just try and tack this together tonight just to kind of get it looking like I've done something, and then, hey, another day. So that's it kind of placed back in. I'm chasing that line. Kind of got that light set up to cast a bit of a shadow, and I feel like that's pretty good. There's a bit of a dive in there, so I got that in there, and I think when I weld it together, I'll try and lift that so it creates a bit of tension there. What the plan is just to tack it all together and then cut it and weld it as I go. You know, plans are great. All right, well, I think I might hook the MIG back up for this just to kind of get me some, so I can do the one-handed tacks. I'll be back with you. Well, that's all tacked in and the lines are looking pretty good. There's a teeny hint of a hump there, but very, very little. And it might just roll out. I might be able to kind of work it out as I do that. I'm just going to grind that up so I've got clean metal both sides, get a few more tacks in it, and I think that'll call me a day, but pretty happy with the progress. Well, I'm not going to lie, this repair is being very difficult. Kind of got that bit looking okay, but the turn and I just can't get that bit to look right. Like it's just fighting me like anything. So I'm really not sure what I'm going to do there. I've tried TIG welding that and it's just in and I can't get it back out. Anyway, I'm going to leave it for now and I'll come back to it and we'll just, just keep ticking along. That's all we can do. All right. Righto, well, I'm back at it. Had a good night's sleep on it, had a few things to think about, and I'm just kind of back having another crack. What I realized is actually because, let's see if I can explain it, because this has been laid forward to create the line of the chop, these lines here actually have been flattened out, and that's what was causing this pinch in the middle here. So what I've done, I've actually cut some relief cuts in that, kind of pie cut it, so it can actually come out and relax a little bit. And then of course I cut this whole panel out, ground it up, dollied it, tried to get it back to straight again. And I'm going to try welding it in again. So let's see if this time works any better. So overall I'm much happier with that shape. It's just got the nice curve to it. There's no dips or dives. So basically it kind of, there's a bit of a peak there, but I'm not going to weld anything past about here because I'm not sure how this roof skin's going to lap, but very, very much happier with that. I'm just going to slowly, I'm back on the, the MIG, and I'm just going to slowly tack this thing together with the, with the air hose, tack and blow and tack and blow and tack and blow, and just try and get this section welded in. Because of course, look, this doesn't even have a rain gutter on it. This is the old from previous works done. So I'm gonna have to try and remove that and try and get that gutter to hopefully flow in some kind of direction. I've got a piece there somewhere that I'm gonna try and use. And then of course I need to marry in this piece. Like there's a lot of work in this rear quarter. But if I can get that done, then all I have to do on this side is that little patch in the roof, and this side's actually fixed. So, hey, positive thinking. Let's just kind of move forward with it and hope for a positive outcome. Overall, I'm much happier with that repair. There's still a bit of a high spot up the top here, and where that went together, it's a little lumpy. So I may end up having to recut that, but the main patch is good. So I'm just going to grind it up a little bit using a flat wheel and just see what it looks like clean. So overall, ground up, look, it's a little lumpy, which is to be expected for how much work I've done on it. Like you can't get a hammer and dolly in there. So I've just got to kind of live with this section is probably somewhere I'm just going to have to live with it. And, yes, it is going to get filler in it. Obviously the whole car is going to get, a reasonable amount, probably a fair bit of filler, let's just be realistic here. But I mean, from where it was before, it's hard to get the line on it, but there's probably a good 10 mil, if not more, deviation in that point right there. And you know, my side doesn't have that now, so that's a win. I'm just going to try and now chop in this little side panel. Just try and close that in. Where are you? There. Just kind of. I'll just see how I go. See how long it takes, and we'll just try and get that bit in. And have a look at this strip rail. See what it's going to do. So I've got the gutter tacked back in, and I'm fairly happy with that line. It's definitely a different line than your standard V-dub. Like, I normally get wider at the back here, but it's straight, so it you know, it continues on. This line's good, that line's good, which is a lot better than, you know, what the other side is and what it was. I've started tacking in, or I haven't tacked it in yet, but trying to, you know, manufacture that panel. I mean, this is going to be a Frankenstein. It's just, there's no way about it. But I've got the car, and I've got to, you know, I've got to get it right. I've got to get it finished. And I've got to get rid of, you know, that stuff. And, you know, I mean, you can see that big dent there. And, you know, that kind of stuff. And more of this kind of stuff. I mean, you know, like, my stuff is definitely not perfect. There's a bit of a wave in that line there. I don't know how I'm going to fix that. You know, that's not me. You know, that's me. And I haven't ground that back yet, but that's me. Anyway, I think that's going to do me. You know, stay tuned, fellas and ladies. This is going to be a big project. It's going to take a lot to get it right, and I'm going to get it there. So I'll catch you next time.